Hello, today we are here as members of the Hot to Trots 4-H Club and the Horsing Around 4-H Club to present our visual presentations. Last weekend was the Plymouth County Visual Presentation Day. Nearly 100 kids presented their visual presentations from all sorts of topics, from beekeeping to banking to our favorite, horses. This is one of the 3 major competitions that you can go through with your visual presentation. Our members are now here to present some of their visual presentations that were amazing.
Hello, my name is Genevieve LEVESQUE and I'm 10 years old. I have been in 4-H for 5 months and I'm a member of the Hot to Trots 4-H Club. This is my first visual presentation. Today I'm going to talk about horse evolution. The evolution of a horse, a mammal of the family Equidae, occurred over a geologic timescale of 50 million years. The horse also belongs to the order of Perissodactyl. The first horse was the Eohippus, also called the dawn horse. The height of it was 1 to 2 feet. The habitat of these creatures were woodlands of North America and Western Europe. Its diet consumed the plants. The distinguishing characteristics about it are its small size, 4-toed front feet, and 3-toed back feet. Since its hind legs were longer than the forelegs, the Eohippus was adapted to running and probably relied on running from predators. Its slender limbs, supported by toes, held in almost a vertical position. The Eohippus is very fascinating to learn about. Now let's talk about the second horse, the Mesohippus. The Mesohippus was around 37 to 32 million years ago. Its name means middle horse. It was smaller than a modern pony and lived in now what's called North America. The Mesohippus diet consumed of twigs and fruit. If you look at fossils and compare them with its ancestors, then you can almost see evolution unfolding right before your eyes. Did you know that instead of having 4 toes like the Eohippus, its ancestor, the Mesohippus had 3? One crazy fact about this animal is that it had a very large brain for its body size. Its brain was just about equivalent to the modern horse's brain. That would have given it the smarts to outwit just about any predator of its time, which is a good thing because the Mesohippus wasn't built for speed. A significant difference between the Mesohippus and the modern horse is that the Mesohippus fed off twigs and fruit, and horses feed on grass, hay, and other things. Scientists had discovered this by the arrangement of its teeth, which clearly shows it was more suited for that type of diet. The Mesohippus is very interesting to learn about. The next horse is the Parahippus. It was around 24 to 17 million years ago. Parahippus means side horse. Since leafy food had become scarce, these animals were forced to subsist on newly evolved grasses that were taking over the plains. Did you know that the Parahippus was slightly bigger than the Mesohippus? It had longer legs and a longer face than the Mesohippus. The bones in its leg were fused, and this, along with muscle development, allowed the Parahippus to move with forward and backward strides. The Parahippus was able to stand on its middle toe instead of walking on pads, which gave it the ability to run faster. Its weight was supported by ligaments under the fetlock to the big center toe. The weight about the Parahippus was never really figured out. 2 specimens were examined by scientists. The results were, specimen 1 was 123.7 kilograms, which is 270 pounds. The second specimen was 48.7 kilograms, which is 110 pounds, so no one really knew what the real weight of the Parahippus was. The last horse is the Merychippus. This animal was around 17 to 11 million years ago. Merychippus means ruminant horse, and ruminant means plant-based eating animal. This creature was about the size of a Shetland pony. At the time, the plains were changing, so that meant the Merychippus began consuming more phytolith-rich plants. This led to the presence of hypsodont teeth. Such teeth range from medium to intense crown height, are curved, covered in large amounts of cement, and are characteristic of grazing animals. The Merychippus was one of those grazing animals. This animal is the last horse before the modern horse. Did you know that the Merychippus was the first horse to have the distinctive head shape of today's horses? This animal had 3 toes, but the side toes did not touch the ground. Only the larger middle toe did. Its middle toe eventually developed into a hoof, which did not have a pad at the bottom. The Merychippus is super interesting to learn about. Each horse we talked about today is super amazing and fun. And that's horse evolution. I hope you all enjoyed my presentation.
Hi, my name's ALANNA FENNESSY and I'm 11 years old. I am a member of the Hot to Trots 4-H Club. This is my 4th visual presentation. Today, I'll be talking about the amazing Pony Express. So, let's saddle up and start delivering that mail. Come on, what are you waiting for? Today, I'll be discussing how it all began, how it all worked, and how it all came to an end. How it all began. The Pony Express became an idea from Alexander Majors, William Hepburn Russell, and William B. Waddell. They were all pioneers in the freight industry. They thought that mail delivery could be faster. So, they combined their knowledge and came up with a plan. Traveling on horseback over land would be quicker than steamship and stagecoach. So, they put their thought into action. Although, these gentlemen are not the first to have such an amazing idea. The idea of horses to transport information and spread news can be traced back to the Mongolian conqueror Genghis Khan in the 12th century. And in the 1820s, early American newspapers were using horses to relay and spread news between Boston and New York. Initial mail transport delivery time was 24 days from Missouri to California. This was not enough. Because of the westward expansion and increasing tension between the North and the South in advance of the Civil War, communication needed to be faster. The Butterfield Overland Mail Company attempted a route from St. Louis, Missouri, going south, then west to Los Angeles, then north to San Francisco. This route was highly susceptible to attacks from many Native American tribes. It was also 2,700 miles long, and much of it could have been destroyed by the Confederate troops. Due to the failed Butterfield route, Russell, Majors, and Waddell devised their plan to keep the Pony Express in the route in the north and shorten it by nearly 700 miles. The new and improved route would start in St. Joseph, Missouri, and end in Sacramento, California. In January 1860, Russell, Majors, and Waddell set up their new corporation, the Central Overland California and Pikes Peak Express Company. And that is how it all began. How it all worked. Russell, Majors, and Waddell all had different talents, so they performed well together. They each performed different roles in the Pony Express operation. Russell was more the sophisticated, politically knowledgeable, and was the most personable. He went to Washington, D.C. to go through the national complex politics. Majors was more the hands-on owner. He took care of the horses, oxen, heavy wagons, and unruly crews. Waddell was more of the office manager. He took care of the bookkeeping, payroll, and hiring of staff. The trail was set up to start on the existing Oregon Trail. Started in St. Joseph, Missouri, which went through Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, Wyoming, and Utah. At that point in Salt Lake City, Utah, it departed from the trail. That went south, then ending in San Francisco, California. The total distance was 1,840 miles long. Since mail was guaranteed to be delivered in 10 days, most horses could only run 10 to 15 miles per leg. These horses needed to be well kept and fast. Therefore, they often use half-bred Californian Mustangs. They use these horses because they are well adapted to the terrain. There were nearly 200 relay stations along the route. When the riders arrived, someone would quickly come out and grab the mochila and the horse. The mochila is a specially designed saddlebag with mail pouches, which weighed about 20 pounds when filled with mail. and he threw the mochila from his saddle onto his new mount. As for riders, well, some of them were even wilder than the horses they rode. These riders had to be small in stature and young. Most were 17 to 18 years old. There were approximately 80 riders during the Pony Express. Job ads often asked for young, skinny, wiry fellows willing to risk death daily. Some specific ads even asked for orphans preferred. Each rider was required to take a pledge. It reads as follows. I, Buffalo Bill Cody, do hereby swear before the great and living God that during my engagement and while I'm employee of Russell Major and Waddell, I will under no circumstance use profane language, that I'll drink no intoxicating liquors, that I'll not quarrel or fight with any of the employees of the firm, that I'll conduct myself with honesty and be faithful to my duties. So to direct all my acts as to win the confidence of my employer. So help me God. Two of the most famous riders were William, Buffalo Bill Cody, and Pony Bob Haslam. William Cody, a.k.a. Buffalo Bill, was born February 26, 1846 in Iowa, and died January 10th, 1917 in Colorado. He is famous for many reasons. He was a fearless rider and started his career young. He was working with Russell, Majors, and Waddell in their freight company when he was only 9 years old. When he was just 14, he was known as one of the greatest fighters of the Great Plains, making him an easy choice as one of the first Pony Express riders. At only 15, Buffalo Bill rode for 22 hours from the Red Butte Station into the Pacific Spring Station and back. This is one of the fastest and furthest rides in the history of the Pony Express. Robert Haslam, a.k.a. Pony Bob. He was born in London, England in January 1840 and died in Chicago, Illinois, February 1912. He was also known for his fearlessness and most dangerous and longest rides in the history of the Pony Express. On his regular 75-mile route, he encountered a Native American attack, where the station keeper was killed and the next rider too frightened to ride. So, Pony Bob continued on his own for some 380 miles with only one short sleep break. And that is how it all worked. How it all came to an end. Technological advancements, namely the telegraph, in October 1861, put a rather abrupt halt for the need of the Pony Express. Other factors, such as declining business of Russell, Majors, and Waddell, due to war and weather hurting the business, also contributed to the decline of the Pony Express. In general, the public was not so supportive of this service because it was expensive to send mail. It started at $5 an ounce, which was equivalent to nearly $100 an ounce today. In total, the Pony Express only lasted 18 months, and the Pony Express made 308 successful runs, and in all, only one mochila was lost. The planning and execution of the service was remarkable for its times. Dangerous terrain, the length of rides, the care and upkeeping of the ponies, the horses and equipment, and many other factors made it hard for the Pony Express to sustain a profit. So, today I've talked to you about the amazing Pony Express. I have said how it all began, how it all worked, and how it all came to an end. Here I have an example of a telegraph and a mochila saddle. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Finley Keating. I'm 7 years old, and I'm from Horsing Around Plymouth County. And today I'll be talking about Appaloosa horses. First, I will be talking to you about Appaloosa's colors and markings. Appaloosas are famous for their spots. They can either be white or black, and Appaloosa's base colors are bay, black, chestnut, palomino, cremello, roan, or gray. Next, I'll talk about what makes an Appaloosa a good pet. They're gentle, caring, intelligent creatures. Appaloosas can be ridden almost anywhere, and they are super friendly. Interesting facts. An Appaloosa full coat changes colors as it grows. They may fight back when predators such as wolves, mountain lions, or bears attack. Habitat and diet. Appaloosas are from the northwest United States originally. Now they can be found throughout the United States. Appaloosas eat hay, grains, sugar cubes, and peppermints, apples, and carrots. Today I talked to you about Appaloosa horses, and right here are 2 pictures of Appaloosas. That concludes my presentation. I hope you liked it.
Good afternoon. This is Ava Tusi reporting this live in Kingston from Plymouth County 4-H News. Let me tell you about myself before we get started. I am 11 years old. I have been in the Hot to Trots 4-H Club for 4 years. This is my 4th visual news presentation. Today's news is all about sand colic. Let's get started on the breaking news. Today's breaking news is all about sand colic. The 3 things we are going to talk about is what is sand colic, how to treat it, how to prevent it, additional facts, and conclusion. Now we are going to talk about what is sand colic. First, colic is a pain in the abdominal. Sand colic is one of the main reasons of colic in horses. Sand colic is abdominal pain that is caused by sand. A horse suffering from sand colic can show a number of symptoms, such as diarrhea or weight loss. Other signs of abdominal pain are looking at belly, lip curling, manure is hard or dry, rolling, and not eating, or playing in water bucket but not drinking it. How to prevent it. To prevent sand colic, there are some ways. 1, making sure sand is flushed from horse's bowl regularly. Sand can be ingested when hay is dusty or sandy. Some other ways to prevent any colic is to remove manure from paddocks and fields. Feed your horse what it only needs. Stick with your feeding program, and another way is keeping feed off ground. How to treat it. Sand colic is generally treated by veterinarians or by giving the horse psyllium seeds. Psyllium seeds are the basic of almost all products against sand colic. Also, you should make sure you are exercising your horse regularly and also provide plenty of fresh water and also food. Here are some additional and fun facts for you. 1, there are a lot of types of colic. Some colic names are sand colic, like we were talking about, gas colic, feed colic, medical colic, displacement colic, stomach distension colic, and impaction colic. There are also many other types of colic. Some of you thought I was talking about baby colic, which I was talking about horse colic. But yes, baby colic is an extreme type of crying in a baby between 3 weeks or 3 months of age. Colic is normal for some babies. To help the baby if it has colic is to give it a pacifier, burp the baby and rock your baby. Today's news, we have talked about what is sand colic, how to treat it, how to prevent it, additional facts, and conclusion. This concludes my visual presentation.